Hey Internet, it's Aaron, your personal driver, and today we're going to answer the question, is Uber as a company sexist? Okay guys, so in this business, you basically have two options. You can be the first, or you can try to be the most honest or the best or the most informed. And by that I mean sometimes stories break and you can either vlog about it right away and get it out there, or you can sit back and kind of try to do your best to analyze what's going on. So I prefer the second because I only have a viewership of about 60 to 100 people. If you look at all my videos, in a day or two once I post them, that's about what I'll get. About 60 to 100 people watch my videos and then I get feedback from them. And so that's fine. So since my viewership is smaller, I want to make sure my content is quality. So I wait for 3 particular sources before I talk about any specific type of issue. The first is the Uber forums that I'm a part of, Twitter, that these are where drivers talk about what's going on and news breaks, okay? The second is Uberman, and I'll put a video here of him and his response to it, because he has like 100 million gazillion subscribers and like hundreds of thousands of hits. So when he posts something, like he has a much larger audience, so he can break things first because he gets information faster than I do. Like as soon as something happens, Uberman knows about it because so many people are emailing him. He has so much in the know. Like I don't have that type of access, so I have to wait longer than he does. And he's a great prime source for information what's going on. So I watched his video and I actually really liked it. I think he was spot on. And the other thing I'll do is I will wait for the prime source and go read it. So I'll link an article here about what I'm going to talk about. So Susan Fowler is an ex-employee of Uber. She was a software engineer who wrote a long blog about how Uber's sexist. So I'll link that there. And then, I don't know, I guess here I'll link Uber's response. So I waited all day for all of these sources to come out, and they have, and I've read them. So I want to talk about my take on it. So what this woman is accusing Uber of doing to her is ignoring sexual harassment in the workplace. So she claims she has screenshots and emails of her being sexually harassed. And then she has an email chain with her and HR who basically ignored her claim and told her to STFU and that to keep her mouth shut. So once that story came out, it went viral over the internet, and they've already had to deal with hashtag delete Uber, hashtag no Uber. So that's already happened. Then the CEO resigned from Trump's cabinet, and now this blog came out. So this employee has left Uber and written about her time there, and it's pretty damning. She might be lying, right? But I seriously doubt it based upon the things she said. Like, it's pretty legit, okay? And if you watch Uberman's video, I'll post it one more time here. He said that Uber is in the wrong. The CEO set up a culture that is putting profits before people, right? Essentially, Uber is currently running not like a tech company, but they're basically running like a 20th century corporate giant, right? Like think like GM, like that's how they're trying to run their company right now. And it's gonna be disastrous if they don't change. And in response to Uberman, he's correct. Like he hit the nail on the head in this one. Like the culture there in Uber needs to be changed because this is unacceptable, man. This is like Bush League stuff. Now granted, Uber's a young company, so they haven't had a lot of chance to grow, right? This is a normal cycle problem for a successful company, is they start up, they don't know what they're doing, they make money, they get investor money, they grow, and they keep growing, and they get to a size, and it's no longer like a mom and pop operation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's no more like everyone knows each other and you can joke around and get, in a lot of cases, these people who start up a company together, these startups, they'll drink together, they'll party together, they'll get in trouble together, they'll go to strip clubs together, yada, yada, yada. Because it's like 12 people and they're starting a new company and all they do is work. And so they keep that small company mentality as they get bigger, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But usually that happens over a long period of time, and so they have growing pains and they can get used to that. Man, Uber's not even 10 years old, guys. It's a new ass company. So it doesn't know what to do with its fame and fortune. It's estimated to be a $50 billion company, and they're not prepared for stuff like this. They're still doing Bush League stuff. But Uberman's right. Uberman's right. This is the CEO's fault. Because he hired the HR manager. He oversaw the teams. He saw all this infighting and was like, good, yeah, that's what we want. That's Bush League stuff, man. It's 2017, man. They need to figure it out. Now, Uber has said they're going to do an investigation, and I'll link that, I don't know, over my face, right here. And so what's happened now is Eric Holder and a few people from Uber, including the head of the human resources management, are going to log an investigation. And I'm here to tell you right now that it's going to fail. This is a terrible idea. And it's not because of Eric Holder. I know Eric Holder is a controversial figure, and I know that in his time in the Obama administration caused a lot of chaos and controversy, right? But Holder is a good investigator. Like, if you look at what he did some amazing things. He was a good investigator, okay? Eric Holder, even though he did the, like, Eric Holder got to the bottom of things. You read his reports like, in places like Baltimore, and he got in the nitty gritty. So he can investigate. So it's not going to be Holder's fault. He's the fall guy in this. I'm telling you that now. The problem is that Uber is having an internal investigation by itself. Do you think the head of human resources is going to do an investigation into its own office and find that it fucked up? There is no way the human resources is going to do that. They're going to do an investigation, and they're going to try to slip everything under the rug because the head of human resources' job is on the line. Every single member of human resources' job is on the line. So they're not going to find what's wrong within Uber. They're going to find whatever they need to cover this problem up. And that's the problem. Uber needs to start running like it's in the 21st century, okay? They need to start treating their software engineers not like employees, but like part of a team. So they didn't just fire an everyday clerk. She wasn't like answering phones or cleaning the floor. She was a software engineer. Like, one of the best in the country. If you're a software engineer working for Uber, you're one of the best in the country because everyone wants to work in Uber. There are currently, they call them the Four Horsemen of technology, okay? That's Apple, that's Google, that's Facebook, and that's Amazon. That's where everyone wants to work. And right now, engineers from those four companies are leaving those companies for Uber. That's how bad people want to work there. So if you're driving out those employees, you're insane. What are you doing? You can't replace those people. Not only that, she worked for Uber for a year. So she knows all the cutting edge software engineering things going on in Uber right now, and she's taking that to another company. 25% of Uber's engineers were female. According to the article, 25% of the software engineers at Uber were female. Almost all of them are gone. In fact, so many are gone that one of the claims that she said is everyone got a leather jacket as an annual Christmas present, except for the women. And the problem was they couldn't afford to buy the women individual jackets because it was too expensive, because there weren't enough of them to get a discount for having a large order. Guys, it's 2017. Women are graduating from college at higher rates than men. Women are graduating with master's degrees and doctorates faster and in larger numbers than men are right now. Okay? So if you are if your company is unfriendly to women, you're gonna lose out on all the best engineers in the country has to offer. Oh my God. You're setting yourself up for failure. And here's the thing. A lot of people are going to say she's exaggerating. And I'm sure she is exaggerating a small portion because she's talking about things from her view. And I'm sure if you talk to Uber, they're going to downplay their situation and they're going to say the whole different story, because that's how clashing opinions work. But I believe this woman, and the reason I believe this woman is because the thing she's talking about has been going on since the beginning of women working in the United States 200 years ago, okay? Nothing new that she said is in that article that shocked me. It's all standard sexual harassment stuff that women have been fighting and fighting and fighting, and men have been ignoring and swiping under the rug. The problem is we have the internet now. Women are dominating the workforce. There are more women in the workforce now than there are men, and they are demanding to be treated differently. Like, I want to put an article here, another article. I know I'm having a lot of articles this time around. Like, in 2008, there was no place for women to go to the bathroom in the Senate. If you were a woman senator, the men didn't have a place for you to go because there weren't enough women in the Senate. That was 9 years ago. So nothing she said, from her bosses trying to sleep with her, from HR threatening her to fire her if she didn't shut her mouth, to retroactively going back and changing her performance evaluations to try to screw her and keep her from transferring to a different department, are all standard practices. That and not paying women on an equal level. Women have been fighting this for years. So I would expect that from an older company, right? I'm sure, like, especially newer companies, like whatever industries were ginormous in the 20th century, those companies I would expect this from. GM, that's how it happened there, right? That's what they did. That's standard practice. But technology companies are a different thing, man. It is hard to work for a technology company. It is hard to be a good software engineer. It is hard to like compete for these jobs because it's a global market. All of these technology companies are pulling people not just from the United States, but all over. India, China, Japan, I mean, you name it. Where there's tech companies and there's software engineers, there's competition for these jobs. And you can't retain your top engineers for more than a year? No, son. You're in for a fail. Anyway, a lot of people online are complaining. They're saying, if this was real, if she was not lying, then why didn't she sue Uber? Man, she didn't want to sue Uber. She wanted to rock the boat. She wanted to get her paycheck, okay? She wanted to get her paycheck, she wanted to do her job, and she wanted to go home. She's the ideal employee, and she wasn't trying to start trouble. She wasn't trying to enrich herself by suing Uber. And she's smart. She got a new job. She has job security now. She's not being harassed anymore. And now she let everybody know. And it's perfect timing because Uber just had to deal with the controversy of delete Uber. And so Uber is so afraid to delete Uber. They're so afraid to lose their market share to Lyft and these other rideshare companies that it caused direct and instant access. Today, right now, Eric Holder is conducting like interviews with people. So less than 24 hours, Uber reacted and is trying to fix the situation. So she did exactly what she needed to do to change the culture. And if Uber's smart, they'll double her pay and ask for her to come back and treat her well, because they need to change the culture there. The first thing that they should do is fire their HR manager. Just fire them and get an HR manager from a large established company that knows what they're doing. It'll cost a lot of money, but it'll be worth it because that HR manager will know how to conduct an HR. It's crazy. I'll leave you guys on this. If you guys don't think that sexual harassment is a regular thing that happens every day, don't forget that Fox News, I don't know where I'll post it, here, I guess here, whatever, just got sued for basically forcing their female employees to have sex with the owner. That's basically what it came down to. And if you refuse to have sex with Roger Ailes, they destroyed your career. Now Megyn Kelly, their #1 star, the future, the only person in that entire network that has viewers under 65. Yeah, that's what it says, 65. The average Fox viewer is 65. Yeah, they're #1 in news because nobody watches TV news anymore except for old people. Megyn Kelly was the only person on Fox News whose average viewer was under the retirement age. And she left because they sexually harassed her. They told her to shut up. And then once all this stuff broke, the culture didn't change. They didn't change at Fox News. They're still sexually harassing people there. They're just paying money now for it. So she left. And that's what's going to happen to Uberman. And here's the thing. Uber's customer base, Uber's competition, they're living in 2017. So Uber better hurry up and get this under control because I don't know, man. It's not. They're gonna. Because if they don't, all it takes is people deleting Uber off their phone and then downloading Lyft, and that's it. Their whole model's gone. Oh, I forgot to say, bye, Internet. Hey, everyone, this is my son. I woke him up when I was doing videos. Say hi, Internet.
Hi, Internet.
Say like, comment, subscribe. Say put comments below.
Put comments below.
One over here now, and say, if you guys want to be an Uber, Lyft, or Juno driver, you can click the links to the left-hand side, and they'll go ahead and take care of that for you. Thumbs up, point. Okay, say bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet. Thumbs up in the comments.
Yeah, thumbs up in the comments. That's right. Johnny, were you supposed to be sleeping?
Yes.
Daddy woke you up?
Yes.
Yeah. Now you're doing videos on the internet, huh?
Yes.
Is it fun?
Yes.
Tell the people what they want to hear, Johnny. Who's your favorite Avenger?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. All right, bye, Internet.
What?
There are 4 major companies right now. Google, there are 4 major tech companies right now, and you can call them the Four Horsemen, okay? It's Google, it's Facebook, it's Amazon, and then you can debate what's number 4. God damn, I need to figure out who the 4 are. Apple, you hit. So if any of you crazy people are still watching after that entire video in the outro, I put Sabine on the background. Yeah, sexually harass Sabine. See how that works out for you. I know a couple people on the show have tried. Didn't work out for them.